Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world. His world records of 9.58 seconds in the 100 and 19.19 seconds in the 200 meters still stand over 14 years later. But what if he never existed? What would the world records be? Who else would be crowned the fastest man alive? We'll start with Bolt considers to be his best race, not an Olympic final or his world record races, but the junior world champs in 2002. Bolt won this 200 meter final with a time of 20.61 seconds, but behind him most of the other athletes never really competed at the global stage in their careers. Brendan Christian would have won the race without Bolt, but I don't think this would have changed much in the sprinting world except for not cementing Bolt as a future star for the sport. Now fast forward to the 2008 season where Bolt first started to take the 100 meters seriously. Coming into the season, Asafa Powell of Jamaica held the world record with a time of 9.74 set the previous year. By May, Bolt had the fastest time in the world that year with 9.76, and he was set to face the current world champion Tyson Gay in New York. In this race, Bolt dominated the field and broke the world record, but without him, Gay would have won in a fairly insignificant time of 9.85, and Powell would still hold his record for now. The Beijing Olympics seemed to be owned by Bolt, with his heroics in the 100, 200 and 4x100 relay all featuring golds and world records. This all but secured Bolt's place as an icon for the sport and a household name around the world. However, in the 100 meters, there were many stories being told throughout the rounds. You had Tyson Gay, who was slowly getting back from injury earlier that season, Asafa Powell, who was potentially looking to get his world record back from Bolt and win his first gold at the Olympics. The first major upset came in the semis, with Tyson Gay going out as he placed fourth. Now, as Bolt never raced Gay through the rounds, even in the semis, him not being there wouldn't change anything in that regard. Bolt also mentioned in his autobiography Faster Than Lightning that at major world champ finals, Powell never really showed up. So I don't think anything in his performance would have changed in the final. In that final, Martina, competing for the Netherlands Antilles, would have edged out Powell by 200th of a second to win the bronze medal. And this would have given his nation their second ever medal at the Olympics in their final appearance at the Games. Walter Dix would have then got the silver and Richard Thompson would have won the gold, giving Trinidad and Tobago its first gold at the Games. The 200 meters would see USA taking first and second without Bolt, and the 4x100 relay would be exactly like the official results are now, as Jamaica ended up being disqualified due to Nesta Carter failing drugs tests in the years later. So by the end of 2008, without Bolt, Powell had bettered his own world record to 9.72. Tyson Gay was still battling his injuries, and Michael Johnson still held his 200 meter world record from 1996. But now on to 2009. Tyson Gay was back from his injury and in the form of his life. In fact, before the legendary 2009 world champs in Berlin, Gay had the world leading time of 9.77, regardless of whether Bolt existed or not. The initial rounds would play out the exact same way, with both Gay, Powell, and now the Olympic gold medalist Richard Thompson making the final. Now without Bolt, perhaps Gay would have run slightly slower, not having anyone to chase, or he might have run a little bit quicker, as having Bolt there might have caused him to tense up very slightly, which can slow any sprinter down. Either way, Gay would end the race with a new world record, another world championship gold with 9.71 seconds. He would also be the first man to break the 9.7 second barrier later that season with 9.69 in Shanghai. However, you could argue that he wouldn't have run that fast without Bolt beating him at the world champs, as that was a major blow for Gay and a major source of motivation for him to run quicker. Gay would also set the world lead in the 200 meters with 19.58 seconds, giving him the fastest times in the 100 and 200 in his whole career. 2011 showed the rise of Johan Blake as he steadily improved throughout the season. The 2011 world champs would pretty much play out exactly the same way, as Bolt was disqualified in the final. However, as Bolt was disqualified in the final, there would be one new addition to the final to replace Bolt and a lane change here and there. But ultimately, Blake would still become the youngest ever winner of the event with a time of 9.92 seconds. But Blake's best race of that season would come in mid-September in Brussels, where he would smash Michael Johnson's world record in the 200 meters. Blake would run 19.26 and become the new world record holder in that event. Now, the year of the London Olympics saw the rivalry between Blake and Bolt heighten, but without Bolt there would be no Jamaican battle. The 100 meter final would still be one of the fastest ever, with Gay, Asafa Powell, saw Blake, Gatlin all being set to line up. Now Gay did get disqualified from this race later due to him failing a drugs test, but without Bolt and with Gay being the world record holder, would he have still taken those drugs? Now no one really knows why he actually took drugs, but for the purpose of this video, we will leave the official results alone. With Gay being disqualified, Bailey would actually go ahead and win the bronze, Gatlin the silver, and Blake would go ahead and win the Olympic gold medal in an Olympic record of 9.75 seconds. The 200 meter final would also see Blake getting another gold medal with 19.44, giving him the double. Now the 4x100 meters would see Jamaica and USA going to battle. The American team were ultimately disqualified from this relay again due to Gay's doping, so the Jamaicans would have probably still won the gold even without Bolt. Warren Weir could probably have come into the team after his silver in the 200 meters, especially as Asafa Powell had strained his left adductor muscle in the 100 final. This would potentially cause Blake to run the anchor leg with Weir on the third leg and would have made for a very tight race. Jamaica most likely would have been behind the Americans coming into the home straight, but by how much? Personally, I think Weir would have still kept the Jamaicans in contention for Blake to go past Bailey down the home straight to edge the victory. But regardless, the Americans were later stripped of their silver again due to Gay's doping ban. This would give Blake a third gold medal from London and one, if not two, Olympic records. But Blake would not be done there, as later that month he would equal Gay's 100 meter world record of 9.69. But whilst Tyson's was with a tailwind of 2 meters per second, just being on the cusp of the legal limit, Blake's was with a 0.1 meters per second headwind. Blake would face a lot of hamstring injuries over the next few seasons, which would see him never to return to the times that he had previously achieved. With Blake now being slightly out of the picture and Gay being past his prime, it'd be time for another athlete to take the spotlight. Gatlin would win the 100 meters in the next World Championships in 2013, and Warren Weir would run a PB in the 200 to take gold if Bolt was never there. 2015 would see Gatlin rise to the top of the sprint world, having the world lead in the 100 meters and 200 meters before the world champs in Beijing. At the world champs, Gatlin would win the 100 with 9.8 seconds, the 200 in 19.74 seconds, but still be in the USA team who were disqualified in the relay, ruining an almost perfect world champs for him. 2016 saw the return of the Olympics in Rio and a chance for a new Olympic champion to be crowned. Gatlin would come into the games with the world lead in the 100 meters and the second fastest time in the 200 meters that year. However, he would also have the youngster Andre de Grasse from Canada and Johan Blake, who was making a slight return to his former form. Without Bolt, Gatlin would win his first Olympic gold medal, with de Grasse taking silver and Blake getting his fourth Olympic medal with a bronze. Gatlin didn't compete in the 200 meters, so de Grasse would take the gold medal at just 21 years of age. Christophe Lemaitre would be upgraded to silver and GB's Adam Jamili would get a bronze medal. The 4x100 meters would be again disappointing for America, getting another disqualification, so no medal for Gatlin. Instead, even without Bolt, I think Jamaica would just about edge out Japan for the win. With Kamar Bailey-Cole taking Bolt's spot and Blake ending on the anchor leg, they would just about be able to beat Japan, but it would be a very close race. Canada would then come through for the bronze. So Gatlin would leave Rio with 1 gold medal, de Grasse would leave with 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze, and Blake would have a gold and a bronze medal to add to his collection. Now into Bolt's final season on the track, coming into the world champs, it would be another American with the world lead in the 100 meters. However, this time it wouldn't be Gatlin, instead it would be Christian Coleman. Without Bolt, Gatlin would be the defending champion over the 100 and 200 and would be set to retain his 100 meter title. And he would, beating Coleman just at the line, with Blake again picking up a bronze in 9.99 seconds. The 200 meters would see no change in the absence of Bolt, as he didn't compete, so Guliev would win the gold for Turkey, with Blake going out in the semis. However, you could argue that as Blake medaled in both London and in Rio after his injuries, he may have taken more confidence than his 4th place finishes if Bolt wasn't present. This could have taken him all the way to the final, but who knows. Now onto the relays. As we all know, Bolt pulled up injured down the home straight in his final race, but could Jamaica still get a medal without him? For this, we have to go through some of the data. In the heats, the Jamaican team consisted of Tracy, Forte, Michael Campbell and Usain Bolt. Now both Bolt and Forte were in the team for the final, joined by Blake and Omar McLeod. If Bolt wasn't there, I think Campbell would have made the team ahead of Tracy due to his quicker 100 meter time and his 9.4 second split time in the heats. If we now include that split time into the times run by the other 3 members of the Jamaican team, they would have run 38.16 seconds, which would have put them in 4th place behind Japan. Therefore, the medals wouldn't have changed without Bolt. So to recap, if Bolt never existed, Johan Blake and Tyson Gay would have have shared the 100-meter world record at 9.69 seconds. Blake would have the 200-meter world record with 19.26. Gay, Blake, and Gatlin would have had more medals at the World Champs and at the Olympics, but ultimately the sport would have probably suffered with the absence of Bolt. As highlighted in this deep dive, without Bolt, there would be no constant in the sprint world, which yes, would have created some drama and excitement as to who would come out on top. However, also without him there would be less of a buzz around athletics. Bolt was and will always remain a true great of the sport. His times and legacy will be there for countless others to try and chase and strive for. He transcended his sport in a way only the true greats do, and that is one of, if not the highest accolade any athlete can achieve.